Hello everybody, my name is Judy Manjiko Jonsen. I am a Kenyan living in Denmark. I like to call myself Mama Fadhili because in Kenya women are called by the name of their first child. So if your first child's name is Lucy, then you'll be Mama Lucy. If your first child's name is Maria, then you'll be Mama Maria, Mama Luca, and so forth. Anyway, this is my first YouTube video, and you'll forgive me if the sound is off or the lighting or whatever, or if I'm not in focus. I'm doing this all alone, recording myself all alone, and I have this camera that is not out of focus, so I have to like fidget a lot on my own, and it's so much work. So but today's topic, I'll be talking about a story right now that's going on in Kenya about the death of a girl called Ebbie Samuels. May she rest in peace. Ebbie Samuels is a 15-year-old girl who died last week. Sorry, I hope it's last week or the week before, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, Ebbie Samuel was a 15-year-old girl who had just reported to school, and according to information that I saw, I watched a comprehensive news story yesterday by Dennis Okari on NTV, and basically he covers the backstory, which is quite mysterious because this girl was healthy, she was fit, she had just reported to school. You know, in Kenya right now, it's first term, so kids have just reported to school, first Form 1, which is like the first year of high school. And so Ebbie is found laying in her bed, and then she's taken to hospital and she's pronounced dead. Like, you know, the sequence of events is just, you know, there's a lot of mystery and suspicion. This girl went to bed and then she's discovered, you know, dead. And if you watch the video, I'll put a link to the main story. You'll see that, you know, when she was taken to the hospital and when she was and when the matron reported that she had died, there's a lot of discrepancies in the story. There's a lot of discrepancies between when she was found and when she was taken to hospital. And, you know, the story in the school and the story, like what the doctor says, they're contradictory. And of course, whom do we believe? We believe the doctor, because they're the ones who say, the doctor says that when she was brought, she was already dead. Like, you know, when you die, the body just doesn't grow cold like at once. It takes time for the body to get cold after one dies. So, but in the duration in which she died and which she was taken to the hospital, it shows that she had been dead longer, you know. And so all those loopholes, there are a lot of holes in the story. And what makes me really angry and deeply moved by this story is that as a mom, just thinking about, you know, Ebbie's mom, she's a single mother, if I'm right. I could be wrong, please correct me if I am. But you know, I have cousins who are like Ebbie's mom, women who are working so hard to put their children in school. You know, they're working their hands off to put their kids in school. And so Ebbie's mom puts her daughter in a very good school. This school, it's called, I think it's a school in Muranga, CCM Gatanga. It's a missionary school. So her mom puts her in that school. And you know, when you take your child to school, especially in a country like Kenya where it's boarding school, you take your child to a boarding school and you leave them there knowing that they're in good hands, you know. And so for the 4th or 3 months the child will be in school, you're trusting that someone else is taking care of your child while you work to provide for that child. You know, it's not free. It's not free education like, you know, in Denmark it's free. So but still the teachers here, sorry, I digress, the teachers here still have responsibility over the students. But when you're talking about boarding school, you deliver your child literally to the school. You entrust the school with your child, and then you know that 3.5 months later you're going to get your child back healthy and fit. And so the cycle goes until the child is done with school. And so Ebbie's mother takes her child to this school, only for her to get a call that, oh, you need to come. And you know, this is the thing, like, nobody will call you and say this has happened, and and prepare you. They did not prepare her. So she went like, okay, what could be wrong? Is my, like maybe her daughter fell down or something. And then she goes to the hospital, and even the way they break the news to her, like, yeah, your daughter has died. Like, what? How? Why? How? When? And it's just the callousness of telling her, like, your daughter has died. It's like, pew, throw cold water on her face. And then, so the story unfolds. And then towards, what struck me is Ebbie's mom saying that she wanted to she went back to school and asked, I think it's the principal, if she, Ebbie's mother, could see where her daughter slept, like her daughter's bed in the dormitory. And they said no, you can't. And she was with her pastor, and the pastor asked, like, well, we just want to see where Ebbie used to sleep, because apparently the school says that Ebbie fell from her bed, because it's like double-decker beds. Ebbie fell from her bed, and anybody who's been to a Kenyan boarding school will tell you, like, falling from a double-decker bed, the likelihood of you getting a head injury that leads to death is, I don't know, it's just, I can't wrap my head around it, because I've seen my nephews, 5-year-old nephews or 4-year-old nephew, falling from a double-decker bed, trunk, I don't know what they're called in America or whatever, but a double-decker bed, and falling and hitting his head on a concrete floor, and nothing happens. And now you're talking about a 15-year-old that she fell from a double-decker bed and hit her head, got an injury that led to her death. It's like, and even the doctor is saying, like, the body, the human body is or the brain or the body is wired in such a way that like helps somebody to be self-defensive. So if, for example, you fall, it's highly unlikely, if, for example, you're sleeping, if you fall, that you will injure a part of your body or your brain that is likely to be fatal. But anyway, so she asks the headmistress if she could see where the daughter sleeps, and the headmistress says no. Apparently, Ebbie's mother cannot go to the dormitory and see where her daughter slept, because it's gonna upset the other students who have been fainting and hysterical, and they're still grieving. And I'm thinking, how cold can someone be to just tell a parent who has lost her daughter that no, you cannot go and see where she was sleeping because it's going to upset the other kids? Like, I just can't, like, I can't wrap my mind around it. But then I know how Kenyan matrons and headmistresses are, because I've been to a Kenyan school, and I know these women can be nasty. They're like the devil incarnate. Like, these women can be nasty, heartless. Oh, they can be nasty. And the thing is, what strikes me, or what is disturbing my mind about this story, Ebbie's story, is that knowing, I'm not generalizing, but I bet anybody watching this and who has been to a Kenyan boarding school will agree with me that some of these women are bitches. Like, they are bitter, and more so, they are so spiteful to a child coming from a single parent background. Single mothers are hated by headmistresses and teachers, especially in schools that are further away from urban centers. But it doesn't matter. Like, I went to a school that was it was not a rural school. I can't say it was a village school, but I saw it. I saw how single mothers are treated. I saw how children of single mothers are treated. It's like, treated like shit. And it's just that a lot of these women, whatever it is, maybe they're in whatever dysfunctional marriages, or they're bitter with their lives, they project that hatred, they project that bitterness onto children of single mothers. I saw it even with my niece. My niece was taken to a high school in Nakuru, and her mother had to take her out because it was just, they were picking on my niece for over irrelevancies, you know. And I said this, this is not hearsay, because when we were taking my niece, I accompanied my cousin to take my niece to report to school, and I saw the attitudes. I saw like them asking her, so where is your father? Who is your father's name? And I'm like, my cousin is a single mother. Like, if the father's name is not on the birth certificate, who are you to go asking the kid who her father is? Like, it's none of your business, you know. It's none of your business. If a man's name doesn't appear on the birth certificate, it's none of your business who the child's father is. And so there's a lot of bad attitudes towards children of single mothers and single mothers, like schools, especially missionary schools that are run either church-based schools or even public schools. You will find that a lot of people, a lot of teachers, they profile children, and they want to know, like, if your mother is if your mother is a single woman, or if your father is a single dad, how does it work? Like, how does it work? How can you be functional? How can you be a functional child coming from what people will probably call a dysfunctional family or a dysfunctional setup? A lot of people cannot understand that a single mother or a single parent can do more and beyond what two parents can. You know, a mom and a dad in a family that's not functional. So anyway, as I wrap up, I don't want to ramble on. This is a conversation that could go on and on. But I think that there's a certain attitude towards single moms, successful single moms. It doesn't even matter whether they're successful, but as long as a single woman is working hard to put her kids in school, or even ensure that they are fed or clothed, people will always judge her, you know. And unfortunately, as with the case of Ebbie, it will be that child could meet evil people. Again, I'm sorry if I'm putting ideas or trying to make a conclusion. I'm also like, I'm not thinking straight. I'm not thinking like how a journalist should be. I'm not being objective. I'm being very subjective in this. I'm being very subjective, having experience with this, and also being a mom, and also being a human being. Ebbie's mom needs closure. She needs closure. There are lots and lots of questions that need answers, and I am so grateful that Denise Okari, NTV, got to do this documentary, like this feature-length story. There are many more children, orphaned children, children from single parent, also children from, you know, what can I call it? I don't want to say normal families, because I don't know what a normal family is, but, you know, children from a how do you say that? Like, normal family. You know, from a mother, father, family with a mom and dad, you know, who are also being profiled, either because they come from a different economic background than, you know, where the school is. There's a lot of profiling of children, you know, and there are many cases of children dying at the hands of cruel, sadistic, and that's the word, sadistic teachers. There are so many people who should not be teachers. There are lots of people in our schools who should not be teachers in the first place. Sadistic, narcissistic people who will jump at every opportunity to mistreat a child, to abuse a child, to hit a child, because they feel that it's their right as an adult to hit a child for mistakes that, you know, nothing can justify actually just hitting a child to that extent. Nothing. So I really hope that I've not gone on and on rambling about nothing. And I just want us to have these conversations wherever you are. You could be in Kenya, you could be in Denmark, you could be anywhere in the world. If you're watching this, please, let's have this conversation about attitudes towards children from single parent backgrounds. That's my main point here. Attitudes towards children, how we treat children, how we even treat adults from single parent backgrounds. I come from a single parent background, and I have had to deal with a lot of shit, you know, and I give a lot of credit to my mom for raising us as a single mother, and, you know, feeling the shoes, being the man and being the mother in the house, you know. And I don't know where I would be if my mother had stayed in an abusive relationship just so that we can have a mom and a dad. That's the thing that people don't get, you know. Not every man and woman, not everybody's supposed to be together, and some families are just the way they are. So stop profiling people, stop picking out people because they are what you think is not normal. All right, so my condolences to Ebbie's mom and her family and her friends. And I know that schools are about to close, and Ebbie's friends and classmates are going to talk. Right now, there's like a crackdown. They're not allowed to say anything. Classmates and schoolmates from Gatanga school are not allowed to say anything. But you know what? The truth is going to come out. The truth is going to come out, and there will be justice for Ebbie. Please. Thank you for watching, and please leave a comment. Let me know if there's something you would like me to talk about. It could be something in Denmark, it could be something in Kenya, it could be anything. Just let me know what you'd like me to talk about, and I will try and create content that engages us in conversations. And if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be perfect, you know. And so have a very good day, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be kind, and be respectful. Bye-bye.